Bill Walton.
Welcome into our LA studios. I'm Cassidy Hubbard alongside Jay Will and Chauncey Billups. Okay, LeBron James, he led the way with 31 points in 33 minutes. You're saying
there you go.
Stop paying attention to the dang minutes.
Not worried about the minutes.
Okay, but Chauncey, big takeaway from this win.
I mean, we can always talk about LeBron. We can always talk about Kai. I want to talk about Kyle Korver. I love the move when they made it. Now you can see he's getting his feet wet. He's getting his feet under him. He's getting some tread. He knows where he's going to get the ball now. He knows his plays. He knows who's going to be thrown on the ball. It's different when you come over in a trade and you're a shooter. It's pressure on you to just shoot and make threes. When J.R. Smith get back, when Kevin Love comes back, that bench now is a lot deeper and a lot better. This team's going to be scary going into the playoffs.
Yeah, interesting with the deadline coming up. You know, do you look for another playmaker? You heard Jordan Farmer was somebody involved in that discussion, right? But I think this team is moving in the right direction. The team I'm actually worried about, the Pacers, right? At the beginning of the year, Larry Bird said they wanted to play fast. They wanted to average 105 points a game, yet the head coach who hired Nick McMillan has a history of playing slow. Right? And look at this team over the last they have a 5-game losing streak right now. And you hear Nick McMillan talk about lack of mental toughness. Players wanting to show up down the stretch. It was like yesterday, I remember sitting at home reading a newspaper about Paul George saying, this is my year. Yeah. This is going to be my year. I'm going to dethrone LeBron James. Like, you can't have a 4 for 19 night when it's supposed to be your year, when you have to show that mental toughness each and every night to be good.
He also said, followed that up later on, saying, oh, but I thought I had a different team. You know, I'm thinking in the past a little bit about the team that went to the Eastern Conference Finals. He really does have a lot of new moving parts.
He still does have Jeff Teague, and I feel like the one thing you want from your great players, you need your great players each and every night. You know this because I watch you do it. Each and every night you have to bring that kind of mentality, that tenacity.
And they got some talent. They got a lot of talent there. I mean, they have guys that just, they haven't done it. They haven't done it the right way. I mean, they're not playing on the defensive end of the basketball court. You've missed it. I mean, you've been doing a lot of college, but myself, Jalen, even T-Mac, when we do this show, we thought that Indy would be the #2 seed at the start of the season, right? So we drunk the Kool-Aid too, but it just hadn't gotten off or ever got back really on track. So I'm worried about that team.
You lose 2 out of 3 to the Knicks and to the Lakers at home. That's interesting.
At least you guys didn't call the Knicks super team.
Like, the new super team in New York.
Like D. Rose did. So they're a drama-filled team. Okay, J. Will, since you're on this NBA desk, let's get your thoughts on the drama going on with the Knicks.
I'm giving Carmelo Anthony a standing ovation.
Oh, yeah.
For all the hits he's taken from the media, from the fans, that dude has remained loyal to the Knicks organization when he's been treated, I feel like, by a petulant child. And that petulant child is James Dolan. For everything that's happened with Charles Oakley, with everything that's happened with Phil Jackson sending subliminal tweets, Chauncey, about when's the last time that's happened? Your president is sending tweets about your best player, and your best player doesn't respond? I mean, I feel like LeBron James or Russell Westbrook would have responded to the media, not Melo. He's kept his head down. He stayed quiet. He's doing what he needs to do.
He answers every question from that New York media.
He has. Melo's done a good job of handling this thing with such class and dignity. It's such a tough time. But my hat's off to Adam Silver for basically, to me, making James Dolan and making the organization do what's right by one of the most revered players that they ever had in Charles Oakley. So putting that together, making them do what's right, and I understand Oak is not all the way quite happy.
He says he's still upset. He wants James Dolan to give a public apology to himself and the fans.
And he absolutely should. He absolutely should.
Do you think he will?
I don't know if he will.
Yeah.
I mean,
I don't think
this guy's the owner of a team. I mean, he's a powerful guy. I mean, he probably won't, but he owes the fans that.
What do you think about him inviting a lot of former players, including
Spreewell?
Yeah.
I was disappointed to see that. I was disappointed to see that. Now, if that, I didn't do my due diligence, so if that was on the schedule at the start of the season to bring Spree that day, then I'll sit back and say, you know what, I apologize. But I don't think it was.
No, Spree did an in-game interview with Israel Gutierrez and said, you know, he had spoken to PR and he decided.
It was a strategic play by James Dolan to say, hey, guess what?
Interesting timing.
I do have some guys that like me. I do have a few guys that do like me.
It looked exactly what it was.
It was. I thought it was awful. I thought it was in poor taste. I thought it was terrible.
I'm going to kick one grade out. I'm going to call him an alcoholic. I'm going to say on a statement by the Knicks organization, we hope he gets the help he deserves. And then I'm going to bring in other former black players and let them sit next to me and say, hey, I'm your friend. I'm cool, right? Like, that's exactly the way it looked like. I mean, how do you throw one of your all-time greats under the bus like that if that's what you've been worried about historically from the Knicks franchise? We've been hearing that. I live in New York City. You hear it all the time. They don't take care of their own. It's sad all the way around.
How do you fix this? Because you know whose name we haven't mentioned in all of this talk so far? Phil Jackson. But yet, you have to admit he's also the center of this.
I would agree. Look, I haven't played as many years in the league that Chauncey played, but I have watched the league for all my life. I love the Knicks organization. I know that Phil Jackson gets $12 million a year, but just because you're a great coach doesn't mean you could be a great president.
How was he not in that meeting with Dolan, Silver, Michael Jordan?
I mean, let's face it. Phil's not done a good job being the president for the Knicks. He's done a poor job there. If he was coaching, we can never, ever question his coaching. But as a front office executive, he's done a poor job with his acquisitions, with his drafts. I mean, I would say they got lucky getting Porzingis.
He did. Yep.
He fell in their lap, and he's going to be a great player for a long time. But he's done a poor job there. So you look at this whole puzzle here, and from top to bottom, it's dysfunction. It's dysfunction every single year. Every single year.
How do you fix it?
I mean, you got to change some of the people that are there.
You got to make a decision, too. Are you going young, or are you trying to bring in some older vets, too? Because if you're going vets, you're going to try to go for middle place in the Eastern Conference. Yeah. That's what you're going for right now with this lineup.
On top of the fact that, people still go to every single game, and it just came out that the Knicks are the most valuable franchise in the NBA, worth $3.3 billion.
Wow. You can pay out Phil Jackson.
So there's the drama of the Knicks, and then there's the excitement of Russ. What do you expect out of Russell Westbrook?
Well, obviously, I definitely expect a triple-double.
Yes, messing around.
I expect him to be the animal, the vicious animal that he is. Nobody can guard him. Nobody can stand in front of him. And he's going to will his team to a win tonight.
Top 5 players in the league right now.
Absolutely.
You ready? Here we go.
Okay.
Because we were talking about this before.
We were. Okay. Top 5, top 5,
Number 1,
top 5.
LeBron. Right? Number 2, KD. Number 3, I go James Harden. Then I go Russell Westbrook. Then we going Kawhi, or we going Steph?
Ooh, that's tough.
See?
We got 10 seconds.
Kawhi's my favorite player in the league, but I'm going to give you this real quick. Who's your MVP of the NBA? I know you've been watching college.
I go LeBron James.
LeBron James.
LeBron James.
He can always
it's
be
easy.
the running.
I like it.
Look, there's Russ. Ryan Ruocco, Dan Dockich, Jeff Van Gundy, Adam Schefter making his debut. Shefty, it's NBA, not NFL.